तो हेलो हेलो, आपका नए नए स्ट्रीम में स्वागत है। तो लास्ट टाइम हमने एल्डर रिंग खत्म कर दिए थी और एंडिंग थी यार, हमें अपनी मेडन मिल गई थी। तो इस बार हम नए गेम के साथ, नए स्ट्रीम के साथ शुरुआत करते हैं, जिस गेम का नाम है द स्टैनली पैराबेल अल्ट्रा डीलक्स। अल्ट्रा डीलक्स क्योंकि द स्टैनली पैराबेल इट्स अ ओल्ड गेम, 2013 का गेम है और ये उसका लेटेस्ट वर्जन है। तो चलिए देखते हैं गेम कैसा रहेगा। इतना मुझे पता है कि इसमें नरेशन रहता है। मैं खेला हूँ पहले भी, पर थोड़ा भी डिफरेंट है जरा। 2013 वाला शायद से नहीं खेला सॉरी। तो चलो शुरू करते हैं। वेट अ सेकेंड और स्ट्रीम स्टार्ट। टाइम सेट करना है हमें। डिसेबल प्रीव्यू, ओके चलो। तो टाइम क्या हो रहा है? 3:38 हो रहा है। परफेक्ट, कंफर्म। 3:38 PM हो रहा था। हैंग ऑन। Before we just get started, can I just say something? Yes, thank you for actually setting the clock about time you booted up the game. A lot of people don't take that step seriously. They just leave the clock at 12 and call it a day. But you are actually taking the time to set up the clock, and I appreciate that. That's how I know that you care about this experience. You're paying attention. I don't even have any way of knowing if the time you're setting are correct. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, next time you boot up the game and see the screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Go ahead, pick whichever time you want, even if it's not the correct time. You want it. Alright, I'll let you get back to the video game now. Okay, okay, okay. Setting. फील्ड ऑफ वीडियो माउस सेंसिटिविटी में कम कर रहा हूँ। कैमरा सेंसिटिविटी आई थी 100। वीडियो वीसिंग ऑफ करता हूँ। फुल स्क्रीन ठीक है 1980। अप्लाई रेजोल्यूशन है बहुत अच्छा है 144 हर्ट्स। एंटी रिफ्लेक्शन क्वालिटी ओके। कंट्रोल ओके, कंट्रोल मुझे चेंज करना पड़ेगा मेरे टाइप के। सॉरी, हो गया। स्पेस राइट, ए अप डाउन, इंट्रैक्ट और राइट ओके। बस इतना ही था। चलो ओके। मेन वॉल्यूम ठीक है, नैरेटर वॉल्यूम, म्यूजिक वॉल्यूम, साउंड इफेक्ट वॉल्यूम ओके। नैरेटर
This
वॉल्यूम
is the story of a man named Stanley.
राइट है, इतना बहुत है।
This is the story of a man named Stanley. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
हाँ ठीक है।
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
बस म्यूजिक मेरे को कम था, साउंड इफेक्ट ठीक है, जनरल आई थिंक सब ठीक है। बैक बिगिन द गेम।
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
Okay,
Employee number
number
427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in
Position.
room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
मैं तो नहीं होता
And
बिल्कुल
then
भाई।
one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley.
Okay.
Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay. मेरा नंबर 427 नॉट 420 429 का ये है। ओ सबका नंबर दिया 428 420 427 428 429 430।
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to
दरवाजा
go to
क्यों
the
बंद हो
meeting
गया?
room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
ओके
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
ओके यहाँ पर मेरी चॉइस है। तू कौन होता है बताने वाला? लेट्स सी, जाऊँ कि नहीं जाऊँ? तू बता भाई, कहाँ पर जाऊँ? लेफ्ट की राइट? उसने बोला मुझे लेफ्ट में जाने के लिए। हाँ विनय, बताएगा? जल्दी बता। उसने मुझे बोला लेफ्ट में जाने। जल्दी बता। राइट, कृष्णा बोल रहा राइट।
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Okay. Where is lounge? This is not a lounge.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Okay. चल बस हो गया।
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
ये लेफ्ट में ले लूँ मैं? क्यों? वो बोल रहा है लेफ्ट में जाओ। ना मैं स्ट्रेट जाऊंगा। लेट्स सी। चल हाड़ भैया।
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
That's so wrong. मुझे इधर से जाना है, क्या करेगा?
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Okay, एक मिनट गाइस। मेरा माइक हेवायर हो रहा है। I'm sorry guys, I'm sorry. ठीक है. आया आया आया. अभी ठीक है. ठीक है ठीक है, मैं जा रहा हूँ, रेड डोर से जा रहा हूँ,
Oh,
तेरी बात
thank
मान ले.
God you are willing to listen to me.
नहीं
You
तो
see, I really
जबरदस्ती डाला
have
है.
wanted you to be happy all this time. The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Okay. What? What the heck? What just happened? या ये दरवाजा काला दिख रहा है, ये भी मैं आ जाऊंगा. What the fuck?
What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy.
It's about me, dude.
I
It's about
actually
me.
feel
मेरे को feel happy.
happy.
मुझे feel. हाँ, really, it's a beautiful place. Light आ कहाँ से रहा है?
No, wait. Where are you going?
I don't want you to be happy, my friend.
Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Really? देखता हूँ, मुझे भी नहीं पता.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
Okay. ठीक है, मैं नीचे जा रहा हूँ. ठीक है, तेरी बात मान लेता हूँ भाई. तू हैप्पी रहे.
Good. We can't be too safe. Promise me you won't go back there. Just stay here. No. What do we talk about? You're risking everything we achieved here. You heard me before, didn't you? You will die. What about this isn't getting through to you?
फिर जाऊँ नीचे. और कोई ऑप्शन नहीं है क्या मेरे पास? मतलब मुझे मरना ही पड़ेगा, मुझे लग रहा है. अब रेड हो गया.
You are going to stay here, aren't you?
ऐसे मत पूछ. ओह माय गॉड. चल तू एक बार बता, कितनी एंडिंग है टोटल इसमें? हाँ यार, सच में मेस्मराइजिंग ये जगह. बाहर बाहर अब कुछ नहीं बोलेगा, नहीं रोकेगा मुझे. वहां पर जाने से म्यूजिक बजने लग जाती है अचानक. ये कुछ रोक नहीं रहा है मुझे, ये रोक नहीं रहा है. मेरा पैर नहीं मुझे दिख रहा है. वैसे भी फर्स्ट पर्सन शूटर में दिखता नहीं है.
No! Oh, thank God you lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room?
What? मरा नहीं.
There. See? This is what you want. This is where we can both be happy. We really can. If we stop moving, we just have to stop moving. Stanley, go back. There's nothing good that can come from this.
अच्छा ठीक है, चल फिर से तेरी बात मान लेता हूँ मैं. Yeah. कृष्णा वाला गेम बरोबर भाई. अच्छा गेम है यार.
No. No, no. What are you doing? Do you just not believe me? What can I say to convince you?
मैं वहां रहना नहीं चाहता. Let me do.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me?
मैं और धीरे चलने लग गया हूँ.
Yes. Perhaps you can. Perhaps you finally see what I'm talking about. I know you'll see that we can't be happy if we leave this place. You can see that, can't you?
ना, बिल्कुल नहीं.
No, perhaps not.
Coming, bro.
My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
Bye.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to... Do you actually want to stay alive? Or are you just teasing me?
मेरे को दूसरा रास्ता दे दे भाई. मुझे दूसरा रास्ता दे दे.
I wanted us to be happy here, Stanley. I really did. I wish I still thought that was possible.
Okay. Look at this room. It's beautiful. Hand painted. प्लास्टर लगा है हर जगह. और ये asylum लग रहा है.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
This time उसकी बात सुनते. कृष्णा ने जैसा बोला, उसकी बात सुनते हम लोग.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
चलो.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling
एक मिनट. जंप स्पेस है.
away of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to
Crouch right control delete से jump रखा है मैंने.
his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Yeah. Okay. Using slide to assure employees that everything is okay. Make sure your slide has click, blur, blue graphic in the header and throw some bevel on all the text. Everyone is unique. You are most of all. ए, अच्छा मैं इंटर दबा रहा तो मेरे कीबोर्ड का साउंड आ रहा है. क्यों बंद क्यों किया दरवाजा? वो दरवाजा खुला.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
इधर है ना बहुत कुछ तो है. ये है. Yeah. Yeah. मेरे साथ ये डिलीट काम नहीं कर रहा. स्पेस ही रखता. नो स्पेस भी काम नहीं कर रहा. डिलीट ही सही है. The
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
चल ठीक है तेरी बात. दरवाजा इज क्लोज. बंद दरवाजा. एग्जीक्यूटिव बात. अच्छा बाथरूम है ये. लुक एट द बाथरूम. ओह आई गॉट द फीलिंग money from stealing but not yours of course. Said that's lovely purse. Okay, said that's a lovely purse. Okay, I got the feeling money from stealing but not of course not yours of course. Said that a lovely purse. Okay okay. नहीं चल ठीक है जाता हूँ यहाँ से. अपना दरवाजा बंद होता है. इट्स सो नहीं रहने. लिफ्ट विफ्ट नहीं लेंगे. ओह ये बॉस का ऑफिस है. बड़ा है बहुत.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
Oh my god.
Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
अच्छा मैं बाबा रॉन्ग डाल तो क्या करेगा ये? मेरे को इसने बता तो दिया 2845.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Okay, नहीं अभी भी नहीं टाइप करो.
2845. Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Okay. Hey, wait a second, guys. Wait a second. Okay. Okay.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Okay. Oh, fuck, what the hell just happened?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
escape लिखा है guys. Let escape this a hole.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. मुझे नहीं मरना
But
life.
of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for.
दरवाजा बंद कर दे साला मार दे.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
247
What
ना?
horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Yep, I don't have strength to find out the.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Really? Shit. वो मैं हूँ. 247 employees 247. नहीं वो मैं नहीं हूँ. 447. वहाँ हुआ फिर. ओके नहीं फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता है. मैटर ही नहीं करता है.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
My God, मेरे साथ बहुत बुरा हुआ है.
He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept
Accept
it.
it.
His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions.
Mind
Happy
control or
or
status of
sad
fly.
or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Nothing happened there. Mind control ideal awaiting in poor.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Okay. Okay.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to
We
him.
are free here,
For it
guys.
was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
जाने देना.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility
It's
of the new
really look
path
beautiful.
before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Okay, what the fuck? Face start हो गया? वो 27 था यार, right था मतलब.
All of his
Okay.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Okay.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. फिर से start हुआ है. ये मैं
When
free.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
ओके हम लोग रूम में घुस गए. अब कहाँ? कोई दरवाजा इसमें ओपन नहीं हो रहा है, ये गलत बात है यार. ऐसा कीबोर्ड का टाइपिंग में जब भी इंटर या माउस क्लिक करो, इट साउंड्स नाइस. अरे नहीं यार, वॉक थ्रू देख नहीं रहा था, क्या बोलते हैं, तुझे भी पता है ब्रेक लेना पड़ता है। ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है। नहीं रे, मेरे डुप्लीकेट ने नहीं मारा। अच्छा मतलब एंडिंग में उसने थोड़ा सा लाइफ ले लिया, लास्ट में मैंने सब मारा, समझा क्या भाई? सारा क्रेडिट डुप्लीकेट को मत दे मेरे।
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
ओके, लास्ट टाइम हम लोग इस बेडरूम क्लोजेट में घुसे, तो हम वापस घुसेंगे।
Oh no, oh no, 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 not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Look at this. चल ठीक है, सॉरी।
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
ओके, ये मुझे बता रहा है कि हमें ऊपर जाना चाहिए, पर हम ऊपर नहीं जाएंगे इस बार, हम जाएंगे नीचे।
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he
मुझे
taken that
पता है
risk?
बॉस के रूम में
All
कोई था ही
because
नहीं।
he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single
wait,
moment for no reason
ये
at
कार
all.
अभी हमने देखा था।
None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid.
Okay,
So,
मैं यहाँ बैठ
he
जाता हूँ।
imagined himself
Wait,
flying
wait.
and began to gently float above the ground.
Oh my
Then
God.
he
सच में।
imagined himself soaring through space on a magical star field, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? Believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please. It's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job.
Stanley has a
All I
wife.
want is my life exactly the way it's always been.
Ooh.
My life is normal.
I
I am
am
normal.
normal.
Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Okay. वहीं पे हूँ मैं लगता है ज़्यादा खुल रहा
Stanley
है
began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
मेरी मैं फट गई मेरी फट गई
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
अच्छा नया लोग नए जन की स्टोरी स्टैनली हट गया
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. Then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
what okay फिर से स्टार्ट हो गया fuck
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. ये कंप्यूटर बंद हो गया employee number for 15 employee number nothing
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
okay let's go door in the left what oh मैं डर गया
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
ओके इसने बेडरूम क्लोजेट को बंद कर दिया है मैं अंदर घुस नहीं सकता Fuck.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
ओके मैं वापस पीछे जाऊंगा तो क्या होगा लास्ट टाइम मेरे साथ जो हुआ बहुत बुरा हुआ
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers...
Okay, नहीं. I don't want this again.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him.
Okay, ये मैंने नहीं सुना लास्ट टाइम. ये डायलॉग चेंज हुआ. Fuck.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay. Okay. Change. Line change. Last time first I love purse is to be rich is it a crime? To commit crime isn't it rich? What a life it would be to have to pick just one. Okay. Let's go there. इस लास्ट टाइम भी दरवाजा खुला था ना. दोनों खुलता है. No. What just happened? Eh? That's so. किसी और स्किन टेयरिंग दिख रही है या मुझे दिख रही है? Now there is no skin tearing. Yeah. लिफ्ट किसी काम का नहीं था. ओके वही जगह है. सेम टॉपिक लिखा है मतलब वही जगह है. तुम्हारे कंप्यूटर क्या चल रहा है? कुछ नहीं.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming new age music.
This is not calming, guys. Not calming at all.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Look at me, I'm going. अभी भी मैं अपना पैर नहीं देख पा रहा और अभी भी मेरे दिमाग की बात सुन रहा हूँ.
Whoops. Nope. Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
Yeah.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising
अच्छा बाबा
narrative.
जा रहा, बस 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 बस
I'm
चुप.
bolted to the edge of my seat.
नहीं जाएगा, जा. Fuck.
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
आज के लिए बस इतना ही स्ट्रीम में गाइस, क्योंकि मुझे काम आ गया है और फिलहाल काम करने जाना पड़ेगा. तो मिलते हैं अगले स्ट्रीम, यानी जो कल होगा. और ओके, मैंने गेम बंद कर रहा हूँ. लेट्स सी, स्ट्रीम एंडेड कर देते हैं और मिलते हैं कल.